Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel called Zuzanareacts, where I learn all things Bharat with your help, and I just share my Slovak Central European point of view now. In today's video, this is a part 2 of Sadhguru Karma consciousness video, and we will continue further to explore the video. And before we get into that,
please like this video and click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you so much for your support.
Okay, I got my specs on, my eyes are hurting from looking at the screen, but let's continue.
How do we make peace with our memory?
See, how do you make peace with something that doesn't exist?
But we have it, so we're in this conundrum.
See, the memory is there is no such reality. You are misunderstanding your psychological process as a reality. That is the fundamental mistake. Your thought and emotion, you think it is real. It is not, it's just something that you're making up. If you know you're making it up, then what is the problem? There's nothing to deal with, because it doesn't exist. The problem is you've been given a very complex level of intelligence, which includes memory and imagination, but you don't have a stable enough platform. This platform is not stable enough, let me put it like this. You heard of that English guy, because you were in UK for some time. You must have met this guy called Charles Darwin. Did you meet him?
No, didn't happen.
In some way, you met him in the school textbook at least.
Okay, yeah, exactly, exactly.
So Charles Darwin went out to say that a goat could have become a giraffe in some million years, a pig could have become an elephant in many more million years, something like this, all right? An ant could have become a dinosaur
Right.
over a billion years, whatever. But a monkey became a man rather quickly, I mean a woman also, okay? Don't take it…
You know how many times I've been generalized as a guy, it does not bother me.
So a monkey became a human being rather too quickly. How quickly means the DNA difference between a chimpanzee and a human being is only 1.23%. 1.23% is not much of a difference, isn't it?
I know.
So physiologically, that is how close you are to a chimpanzee. But in terms of intelligence and awareness, you're worlds apart. So essentially, human beings do not know how to handle their own intelligence because they don't have a stable enough platform. One important and significant aspect of the yogic sciences is to create a stable platform so that your intelligence works for you. If your intelligence works for you, would you keep yourself blissful or miserable? Blissful. Bliss. If you are in some way miserable for whatever reason, you just lost a race or you crashed your car, whatever the hell the reason is, if you are miserable, it simply means your intelligence is working against you. It's as simple as that.
And you're in the memory. And you're in the memory.
Your intelligence is not working for you, that means it doesn't decipher what is reality and what is memory, what is reality and what is imagination.
How do we get our intelligence to work for us?
Before the race, are you taking anti-diarrheal pills?
No.
Some people are, I know.
Oh.
Because imagination is going wild. This is human predicament. You do not know how to handle your own intelligence. That is the thing. If you had the brain of an earthworm, you would be peaceful, no nerves. Now, to intelligence, is it a solution or is it a problem? What do you
Good
think?
question. I don't know. It sounds like it's a problem after all this.
What should it be? Intelligence
It should
is
be
a
a solution. It should be.
Intelligence is a solution for everything, isn't it? But human beings have made it a problem because they don't have a stable enough platform for it. The most important thing is this: from early childhood, we must strive to create a stable platform within the human being. So that, there's a whole system of… as there is a technology and science for external well-being, to create external well-being, similarly there's a whole science and technology for inner well-being. But right now, our life is not about being wonderful, our life is about how to be better than somebody. I want you to be number 2 in the race. Next Indy 500, if both of us are there, I want you number 2. Who's number 1? Of course, me. I'm saying this is the problem, that you're not seeing how to make this into the most wonderful possible life. You're always seeing how to be better than somebody. So this race is not just on the racetrack. On the racetrack, it's okay, we know it's a sport, all right? But this is with life itself. Now, if you're on the racetrack, what is your goal? You want to hit the finish line first.
Right.
Are they doing this? How are they doing it?
You're totally right. That's exactly how they do it, yeah. Sometimes they use two.
You want to see the checkered flag.
That's right.
Quick. So if you believe your life is a race, what do you think is the finish line?
That's a great question. Enlightenment or death. Maybe someone thinks death. I don't know. Is that the finish line?
What is the finish line for life? For the race, the finish line is checkered flag.
Right.
For life, the finish line is coffin.
Yes.
Yes. Do you want to get there soon?
No.
No. then don't think it's a race. It's not a race against anybody. This is about you blossoming to your fullest possibility.
So many people would say, how do I accomplish anything if I don't have goals and I don't have some kind of inertia pushing me through life and trying to be better than
Inertia
someone?
doesn't push, inertia slows you down. Right now, that's all they're doing. Because, see, let us say you have only one leg, and you're hopping around. I have two legs, but I want to be better than you. What will I do? I will try to hop a little faster than you. How ridiculous is that?
That's ridiculous. You just run.
That's what
work
is
your
happening.
legs.
That's what is happening to people. I was just telling somebody, it once happened. I'm sorry, I've just said that in another talk I had an hour ago. But let me say this because it's very important, because you're a racer. And in the race, of course, you want to be the first one to cross the line. You want to see the checkered flag first. Nothing wrong with that, because as long as you understand it's a sport. But everybody wants to see the checkered flag in their life ahead of everybody. That means they'll see the coffin ahead of everyone. Even they may not exactly die, but even when they're alive, they're like they're dead. They're not alive to anything, all right? This is what happens to them because they're always looking at who is going ahead, who's going behind. So I was just telling this person, this is probably I was 9 or 10 years of age. So those days, and even now, I think they have this system that every month a report card is given in the school.
Right.
I never understood how my home and school were connected. I just didn't understand, but this report card was the connection, transaction between my teacher and my father. And it's a private letter, why should I open it and see? I never used to open and see. I just handed it over. Every time he saw it, he freaked. I thought she must have said something nasty to him, but she was saying something nasty about me. So once I gave the card and I had gotten 33rd rank. I was 33. My father asked her, how many students in your class? I said, 33, of course. Isn't
He's like,
33 a bigger number than number 1? Hello?
yeah,
How many championships would you like to win, 33 or 1?
33.
See? There you are. This whole nonsense we are starting from kindergarten, that you must be better than somebody, what it means is you enjoy other people's failings. That is sickness, that's not joy.
It seems like the world is set up kind of wrong.
All wrong.
Preach. Oh, I am very curious what he's about to say, but this is what I've been thinking, preaching, saying for the longest time, because I'm not even a kind of a person. So I know a lot of competitive people in my life, but I'm definitely not competitive, because I am a kind of person that I really value collaboration and like teamwork. And it's exactly what he's saying. It's sickness that we are not like, leaning on each other's strengths and weaknesses and working together, but one has to be better than the other. But then that is kind of like the educational system, which was, I think, created to serve a particular purpose back in the day when it was needed. Now it's been falling apart for the last 10 years. I think it will yet fall apart. I've been doing a lot of research in future of work. It's one of the topics I'm also very passionate about and interested. I think that the universities, for the most of the part, are going to go, apart from obviously few ones that, you have to have a lawyer, you have to have a doctor, you have to have an architect. But for any other professions, I think it's just going to be gone. It's going to be replaced by certificates. But like, yeah, because the whole capitalistic system, at least in the West, is set up on like survival of the fittest. But I think you survive better and you create better society when you are able to have a normal life, and you're able to live in a collaborative society that supports one another, that doesn't lead people to burnout and exhaustion and questioning. In the part 1, they were questioning, what's the purpose of life? Because when you are in your rat race and you are doing, and I've been doing that myself, I've experienced a major burnout times 2, and it's like you end up coming from work, lying down on your bed, watching at the ceiling and thinking, what's the point? What is the point? To make someone more money while they are not really paying you enough? Yeah, I mean, the way the whole society is set up, it's set up for failure. Like, instead of supporting collaboration, it supports competition. Like that's the thing. Like, it's ego driven. To me, I wonder what he's going to be talking about later, But to me, this is very much ego driven, where I feel like we should be always coming out of the place of love, and yeah, we do, but then there is also like, yeah, a balance, right, between love and ego, because we need ego helps us survive, right? Like, so there always needs to be balance, and sometimes the balance might be very tricky to hit, but ultimately it is a very egotistical driven society, which is male dominant. And let's face it, you might not want to hear it, but because there is a lack of balance between feminine and masculine, I feel like, in this world. But I'm talking obviously from my perspective. I have no perception much of India and what it's like over there, but it's just not healthy. But I'm very curious what he's going to say.
We need to fix it.
What is the solution?
What is this?
Well, we need to create a conscious planet, that's what we are striving for.
Yeah.
Right now, to create a more conscious planet. If you were conscious, you wouldn't be doing this. You have evolved out of your monkeyness quite some time ago, but you're still not acknowledging it. See, if I say you're monkeying somebody, what does it mean?
Playing.
You're imitating somebody, right? That's what it
Yeah,
means, it's
yeah,
synonymous.
yeah.
Being a monkey is being synonymous
Yeah.
with imitation. So, we've still… though evolution has pushed us out of that monkey status, 1.23%.
We do a lot with it.
But it's a world of difference. 1.23% is a world of difference.
Right.
But we are not giving up the old habits. This is karma.
Mm.
So karma means you're evolutionary. See, in your body, there is memory of every creature. It is not like you as a person became an amoeba, then a grasshopper, then this, that, not like that. As life on this planet has evolved, this body remembers every other structure of life that is there. And that is why it can maintain its integrity even if you give it cat food. It can maintain its integrity because this memory is 100% set. You can't take it somewhere else. You can try to behave like them, but this structure will remain the same because there is evolutionary memory well established in this system. Similarly, genetic memory, karmic memory, all these things are there. How to be above that needs a conscious approach to life. Right now,
I'll just pause here for a very short second. I will link here. I'll try to somehow, don't know, my editing skills not that great, add a book called The Chimp Paradox. I read it. It's all about the monkey mind and the habits and how things work in our mind from psychological point of view. And if any of you want to check it out, I'll perhaps also link it in my description. So I read it quite a couple of years ago, but I know that back then I really enjoyed it. Well, let's continue.
karma gives us an autopilot to our life. If you just go by our karma, everything is by the tendencies we have developed, it'll simply happen, somebody will become this, somebody will become that in a society. But if you want to be above that, you can only do that by being conscious. How to be conscious? Simplest thing. Right now, millions of people are doing this simple process called as Isha Kriya. See, because your karma or all memory that you have, evolutionary, genetic, karmic, this, that, every kind of memory that you have exists only in your body and another body which you refer to as mind, but you don't know where it is. Hello?
Right.
You don't know where it is. Everybody says it's not like that. Every cell in the body has its own intelligence and its own memory, all right? So, there is a mental body, there's a physical body. If you distance yourself from your physical body and your mental structure, this is the end of karma. Because that's where the memory bag is. If you keep the memory bag aside, it's there, like people can't keep their phone aside now because like this, because it's got some 1000 GB of some nonsense, all right, going on. If you just keep it aside and switch it off, you can sit here, it's over, right? But they can't do it because they have no means, they've never seen how. Because it is not about the phone, it is because you're compulsive. It may be a phone, it may be a cigarette, it may be a drink, it may be a food, it may be a person. You can't keep your hands free because you're compulsive. It may be your longing for food or pleasure or something, but essentially you're compulsive. If you're compulsive, you kind of denying your evolutionary status. Because the significance of being human is we can be conscious. We not doing anything very different from what the other creatures are doing. They are also just born like us. Their parents came together, they were born. Our parents came together, we are born. We grow up. They grow up very easily, we grow up with a lot of fuss. Then what is the next significant thing that you do as a generation if you look? Next thing is maybe we will reproduce. And they will reproduce without fuss, you will reproduce with lot of fuss. And one day you will die, that also with lot of fuss. They do it more gracefully. So everything that you do, every ant to elephant, everybody is doing it. Only thing is we can do it consciously. This is a massive difference. that we can do the same simple things consciously.
Mhm.
Suddenly it's another space.
Mhm.
Suddenly it's a completely different possibility. If you do not exercise this ability to be conscious in every act that you are, because consciousness is not in the act that you perform. Right now, I hear that everybody's saying, be mindful of this, be mindful of that.
Mm.
Mindfulness will make you a little more alert, maybe you'll survive better than others.
Okay.
Mm.
But consciousness is your existence. So you know you're here only because you're conscious, isn't it? If you fall asleep and you're unconscious, you don't know where you're sitting.
Okay.
I'm in the
Now,
dream somewhere.
now the question is, you won't know whether you're somewhere or not. When you're sleeping, you don't exist,
Yeah.
though you're alive.
Right.
You don't exist in your sleep, that if you're sleeping well, I'm saying.
Right. Right.
Right now, you're conscious. Question is only how conscious. So now all you need to do is turn up the voltage, because you cannot be conscious without generating an intense level of energy. Have you noticed, when you're on full throttle and taking the corner, you're far more conscious than sitting
Yes.
on a chair.
Yes. Yes.
Now,
Hmm.
let me translate that. That is not the way it should be, because that is still alertness. But there is an element of consciousness in that. Suppose you could keep yourself like that without the necessary adrenaline attached to it, without the necessary maybe an element of fear or danger attached to it. If you could simply sit like here, keeping your blood pressure down, but as alert as you were taking that corner at full speed, then you will achieve something that you have never imagined possible. You will hit a pitch of life that you never imagined possible. People, like I was with a group of people keep inviting me for under 25 conferences. They think I'm under 25. I look like that, don't I?
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Under 125.
That's an insult, but it's okay.
I am too. I am too. We all are.
Under 125 miles is insult for me.
Oh, I thought we were talking about years old.
Oh, okay. I was
Okay.
thinking of miles.
Oh. Well, I'm over 125 miles an hour.
Okay. So, now they're asking me, Sadhguru, you drive so fast, is your adrenaline up and do you enjoy that excitement? I never thought about this. I just looked back and saw, when I drive really fast, I become really cool, means absolutely still and cool.
Yeah.
I'm never excited when I'm driving very fast. I'm like very, almost become cold, literally. Simply alert and there. No excitement, no adrenaline, no such thing in my life. Actually, you have not enjoyed the power of stillness. That's why you think this is better, amphetamine is better than being still. Stillness is the nature of the existence. Over 99% of the existence, which is not material in nature, in this entire cosmos,
Right.
not even 1% is material existence.
Right.
Rest is all absolutely still. This is the lap of creation.
Hmm.
You must be there always, because you're a piece of creation. You are best only when you're in the lap of creation.
So maybe to bring it full circle, to understand, because for me it helps to really understand more of the roots of the truth about our existence, our humanness, consciousness. Where does it come from? Where do we come from?
Come on, don't ask such questions. Where do I come from?
Consciousness, though, which is essentially what gives this, what do we call this? A memory bag?
Karmic bag, we can call it.
Karmic bag, karmic bag, karmic bag. Memory
Bag
bag,
is not a
karmic
good
bag.
word to use for any human being, but I'm saying bag because a bag is something you can carry or you can keep it down. So that's why I'm using the word bag for you, not in any other context. You can carry it in your hand or keep it down or sling it on your shoulder.
That makes sense.
If you carry the bag on your little finger, it'll hurt so much.
Yeah.
If you carry like this, less. If you sling it here, much less. If you keep it down, wonderful. The nature of life is such, if you keep your karmic bag down, it's not going to go away, it's going to travel with you. But it's your choice whether you want to carry it on your head or it just comes with you like baggage. Let's say whatever baggage you carry when you're traveling, if you had to keep it on your head through the entire travel, terrible, isn't it? It's in the luggage hold, so it's good. This is all I'm saying. Karma means just this. You can keep it there, it'll anyway come. Your name is marked on it. It will come, don't worry, it'll not go anywhere, you can't lose it. If you lose your mind, you'll not lose your karma. If you lose your body, you will not lose your karma. It will come with you. You don't have to worry where it'll go. So because of your worry where it'll go, you're carrying it on your head and it hurts all the time because of the sheer weight of it. Not because it's good or bad, simply it's heavy.
Wow, so I believe that's the end. And wow, I just had so many thoughts. But before I even go into that, let me know in the comments below, like what is like the one thing that you have taken from this talk? Like what has really deeply resonated with you? I guess what I'm trying to get my head around. So he talks about karma in the way of our past programming, past experiences, that we come. You see that if you're thinking about this from a very spiritual angle, you can think about it. We are soul, right? Like on an eternal journey, and you incarnate. So you have to complete certain amount of incarnations in order to, in your case, achieve moksha. And I think that every time you come to incarnation, you're trying to resolve the karma, or, you know, and I think in his way of understanding is that he considers basically a human body a karma. So like it almost feels like everything 3D he talks about is karma. I'm not too sure if I'm understanding what he's actually really trying to say, because to me karma would just, in a simplistic manner, mean every action has an equal positive opposite reaction. And I get what he's saying, that from a personality point of view, what they've been discussing is that, you know, you do certain actions as a human being, and they have repercussions, right? Like you every action has an equal and opposite reaction, good or bad, it doesn't matter. It just is, right? Like God is all. It's just the meaning we assign to it. So I'm a bit confused how he fully actually, or I mean, if you guys are seeing it from a different angle, I would appreciate your thoughts in the comments below, how you are thinking about it and taking it. So it was to me, it was very, very good how he talked about life. There is this race for life, which there is this race for life, but no one wants to perhaps go close to the finishing line. It's all about, you know, being this person who is really, I think this is why the animals have it so easy, but I think it's just when you have that intelligence, what he was talking about, and you're trying, and in the previously he talks about the freedom, right? It's a lot about how are you being in this world? Like, who are you? I think that's, I actually preach that in my coaching in a way as well. It's actually not even as important, not that important to understand who you are. More important is, I strongly believe, is to be, and it's in alignment with my coaching. And I think that if you would be following people that are actually life coaches, you would perhaps see they have similar beliefs. It's more important who you want to become. Because who you were or are right now can change in a second. I know that there are habits and there might be hard to change, but it's just a perception. You can quit smoking from one day to another. You can stop alcohol from 1 second to another. It's not impossible. It is just you've developed these programs within your body. And I think that when it comes to the question of life, it's about like, who do I want to be? Like, how do I want to act in this world? Like, what's important to me? Because we come here alone and we leave alone. And I said that in another video before, but it's ultimately the case. Like, the only person you really answer to at the end of the day is yourself. So what would your dying self think of your life? You know, and would you be proud of what you're doing? And I think that comes then full circle back to the whole race of life. And sometimes, though, it's also super important not to be judgmental of ourselves, because, you know, maybe I need to go through that burnout for my life to completely change, you know, and we shouldn't be judging ourselves or judging. I'm really against being judgmental. Obviously, there's the second part of being judgmental, because you have to judge the traffic on the road to be able to cross it, right? Do not get killed. I'm not talking about that, but just genuinely, like, you know, observing just things as they happen, and not being judgmental of yourself or other people, and giving yourself a break a bit, you know, like, I believe that we come here to learn certain lessons, whether it's a kindness, gratitude, what have you. You know, I don't think that all of us came here to become a next Beyonce, whatever. But every soul chose its different conditions and lessons to learn its journey. And for some, it may be journey of money. For some, it may be a journey of being a criminal. And that generates the karma further, but it's just what can you learn. And we are all different souls at a different stage of development, so therefore I don't believe it's appropriate to judge anyone. We all are one. We're all vibrating at different frequencies to be able to hold this fabric of life together, if you like. And we should just, you know, establish answer to a question: who do I want to be? And you know what? The answer is going to be that there will be, you will want to be a different person, maybe every new year or every new even minute. But I think that is where the ultimate question lies. And then from there, you know how to handle life forward. As long as you live a life of integrity and in alignment with yourself, I think this is a life well lived. So with that being said, I've been rambling for a long time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give a thumbs up, share, like, and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, you take care. Sending much love. Bye-bye.